All right, welcome into Yard Prep here on the Five Reasons YouTube channel. We're at the Biscayne Bay Brew House that is in downtown Miami, real close to Casaya Center where the Heat play. But tonight we're going to be here for the Dolphins. Come join us. First beer is on us. It's a great facility here. They got all kinds of cool stuff. They got a foosball table. They got video games. They got a pool table. Lots of TVs. Good food menu as well. And this is an independently owned brewery. They got a huge beer menu. You can check out the flights and all that. And again, the first beer is on us. You come down here tonight. You mentioned Five Reasons. It's at 100 Northeast First Avenue. That's 100 Northeast First Avenue in downtown Miami. Also sponsored here by Prize Picks. Use the code FIVE, F-I-V-E. Get that initial deposit matched up to $100 at Prize Picks. We'll get into some of our favorite picks here as we go, but you can download it from the Google Play Store, the Apple App Store, or prizepicks.com. But again, make sure you're using that code, F-I-V-E. All right, I'm Ethan Skolnick. I'm here with Louis Sung. We're going to be out here tonight. So again, come join us. Miami Dolphins 1-0 facing the New England Patriots, who are 0-1 up in Foxborough. Some storylines lost to Bill Belichick. That's one of the storylines that we've discussed here. 4-0 all time against Belichick. So it starts there. Some of the inactives tonight, the big ones. Terron Armstead missing his second straight game to start the season. Means Kendall Lamb will again start at left tackle. No Jalen Phillips. He worked out on the field prior to the game, but he is not playing. Bradley Chubb's got to earn some money tonight. We will get into that against Mac Jones and the Patriots. And also, Devon Achane is active tonight. So possibility of him getting some touches, although most likely Mostert gets most of the carries. However many carries McDaniel wants to give his running backs, which is one of the big topics of discussion we'll get into. Cedric Wilson inactive for the second straight game. Looks like a player who could be a trade candidate at some point as they kind of have moved on for him. But let's go one by one here to some of the inactives. Are you concerned against this team, Louis, that there's no Armstead again?
I would honestly say no, because after everything that we saw against the Chargers, seeing Kendall Lamb and Austin Jackson even going up against the likes of Joey Bosa, Khalil Mack, and somehow Tua managed to stay out of that game pretty much unscathed. The fact that we're going to be dealing with the likes of, I'm not going to disrespect Matt Judon. Obviously, he is very good at what he does. But if you had to put him in a tier list between him and Joey Bosa, I'd pick Bosa every time. Right. So if we're not worried about Joey Bosa anymore, which I don't think I should be after what we saw, I don't think I'm necessarily worried about Judon. I think Kendall Lamb can do the job fantastically. I think that Mike McDaniel's obviously prepped for this. Tua's never lost to the New England Patriots. That's a completely different thing altogether. I get it. But I think that letting Terron Armstead rest up another week, I don't think this is a game to be necessarily concerned about. So perfectly honest, I'm looking at this inactive list, and I'm good with Terron Armstead being out.
Yeah, I mean, we talked about Armstead maybe being back for week one. I think he had suggested that to some folks. But I think the way the offensive line played in the first game gave them a little bit of a cushion here. Mm-hmm. And they are coming home next week to play Denver. You hope, again, that he gets healthy. You know, he's a guy, look, you need him for the later stage of the season, but also you're paying him a lot of money. If you're going to be getting 8 or 9, 10 games at him every season, then it's a position that you're going to obviously need to fortify. But, I mean, Lamb was good in week one. We'll see if he's good in week two. No Jalen Phillips again today. He tested. Is it an ankle? We're getting asked about this.
Okay, so the official word that I'm understanding is that he tweaked his back. That was the thing that was initially injured to begin with. So he was doing warm-ups, and it was like, okay, yeah, no, this isn't feeling it. So Mike McDaniel made the call finally to say, nope, no Jalen Phillips today. But given the fact that the Dolphins weren't getting home that much against the Chargers anyway, I'm not necessarily concerned so much because I don't think it's going to be that necessarily part of the game plan for Jalen Phillips to just absolutely wreck it. Obviously, that would be preferred. We want Jalen Phillips to wreck people, but that's not necessary per se. So this is definitely a chance, like you mentioned, for Bradley Chubb to get in there and start proving that he earned the money that he was given, because this is something that he was brought in here to do. He wasn't here to be the veteran mentor for Jalen Phillips. He was here to make plays on his own.
Yeah, he was, and I think there's got to be some disappointment in terms of the win rate. Some other things have happened there. You gave up a lot of money, and you gave up pick currency. For
first-round draft
pick, which, again, the Dolphins have held on to those picks recently. I think holding on to money with Dalvin Cook proved to be a good decision. We can get into that a little bit today. I think Dolphin fans who didn't want Cook are kind of doing a little bit of victory lap right now. But, again, they didn't want to give up the first-round pick for Jonathan Taylor. And so, you know, if you're going to give up first-round picks, the player has to produce. And Bradley Chubb has not produced that much thus far. So we'll see what happens. Finna to win it here mentions here in the comments. Ogba needs to earn the check with Phillips out. Right. I mean, there's a guy who was very productive for them Not so much last year.
But he wasn't a focus last year.
Wasn't a focus,
injured.
and he was injured, but he got the contract, and we'll see what he can produce. He was another guy who was a trade or potentially down the road cut candidate, so we'll see what he produces today. As far as the other inactives, not a ton to really be concerned about. Again, Cedric Wilson looks like he kind of lost that job as the number 3, 4, and 5 receiver. Elijah Campbell we knew was hurt. Julian Hill not playing is not a big deal. So let's pivot back then to game plan today, because we talked in the preseason. Is Mike going to run the ball more? Is he going to run the ball more? I mean, they went around the league looking for running backs. I mean, they checked in on every healthy. They checked in on Earl Campbell, Ricky Williams, Barry Sanders, everybody. And so it seemed like the running game was going to be more of a focus. And then, I mean, Tua threw for 466, and he threw for Durham Smythe 8 times in the first half. Like, they're not even using their tight ends to block. They're using them as pass catchers. Do you expect the same today?
I fully expect for Tua Tagovailoa to be used as the main source of offense at this point. I feel like this is my little conspiracy theory here, and not everybody in the postgame show agreed with me, but I still believe that Mike McDaniel, all that talk about wanting to run the ball more, all that stuff was lip service. Yeah. Honest to God, I really think it was lip service. He's not interested in running the football. He wants Tua to sling it around the yard like a gunslinger that apparently he is at heart. His arm doesn't say he's a gunslinger, but his head sure does.
Right.
But I personally feel like that they're not going to run the ball a whole lot. Raheem Mostert is definitely not going to get more than maximum, and I'm talking maximum, 9 carries tonight. I truly believe that.
Really?
I believe that 9 carries max for Raheem Mostert. I don't feel like they're going to use they're not going to use him very much to run the football. I don't even think they're going to use him much to catch the football. I feel like that they're going to look at Tyreek Hill, they're going to look at Jalen Waddle, they're going to look at Braxton Berrios, and apparently River Craycraft. And they're going to look at him and say, you know what? You guys are it. You guys are the offense. And if they really need some running game, they're going to throw Eric Ezukanma there as the Deebo Samuel guy, apparently, because he's been doing that, and apparently he's been doing it fairly well. So I'm very interested to see how they use Ezukanma today, if there's any more new wrinkles. But as far as an actual traditional running game, this is why I keep talking about how all these running backs the Dolphins were inquiring. I really feel like that was more Chris Greer than Mike McDaniel. Mike McDaniel doesn't want to run the ball.
It's just so crazy because he was the run game coordinator in San Francisco, but it does
not by choice.
Not by choice. I understand that, but it does seem like they just use the running game as a way for Tua to rest his arm for a play. Like that seems to be the focus. It's like, okay, Tua, you've thrown the ball enough. We don't want it to fall off, so we're going to hand it to somebody else for now. But we're coming right back to you. It is why on our Prize Picks show today, and again, use that code 5. We went over on pretty much every receiver. In fact, the only one that we really didn't go over on was Hill, because we expect.
It was supposed to be like 80-something yards.
Right.
But then Prize Picks threw in a little wrinkle there. So if you guys go there right now to Prize Picks, there's actually a discounted. So he's down to like 52 yards.
Oh.
That over, I would go over.
Wait. Tyreek's down to 52 yards?
I will show you. I will show
all right. We're going to show the people that, because this is what we're here for, to get you guys a little bit of money. And oh my God, Tyreek is down. You are correct, sir.
Let me just show the people out there. So for everybody who's checking this out, this is currently the line for Tyreek Hill.
Oh wow! All right, so we are going to play that thing over. And by the way, the other thing that I like here, and we'll go with it. Now we have to play all the Dolphins receivers over. I love the Mike Gesicki over 1.5 catches too. I just feel like that is an absolute given tonight. They're going to force feed him a couple just to kind of make a point for him. So I am going over on that and going to make some money here while we're sitting here down at Biscayne Bay Brewing so I can buy another beer. So Tyreek's down at 53.5. All right. So, but our point was overall where I was going with this was we liked all their receivers over. I liked Waddle over because, again, there tends to be more of a focus on Hill. We love Berrios over 17.5 yards. Just seems like he's going to be a security blanket. Craycraft was, 9.5 yards?
Yeah, that's easy money. Easy money.
So we like that one as well. And look, I don't know about yardage with Smythe, but if they targeted him 8 times in the first half in the last game, he's going to get 2.5 receptions in this game. It just feels like they are going to use him more as a receiving tight end than we thought previously. So I would recommend you play all of them. But again, to look at their passing game right now against this Patriots defense, Tua has been comfortable against the Patriots. They have not. Belichick tends to make younger quarterbacks uncomfortable. That's not happened in this case. And I don't know. This feels like a little bit of a overconfident game from the Dolphin fan. I mean, I picked the Dolphins by double digits. You picked the Dolphins. It seems like everybody on television is picking the Dolphins.
But it's usually the opposite when it comes to these teams.
Correct, but the Patriots made things uncomfortable on the Eagles last week. Like they were able to move the ball on the Eagles, and they made it difficult towards the end of it. Are we overlooking something?
I mean, I personally feel like that you can never truly completely rule out the New England Patriots. As much as I would love to disrespect Bill Belichick because I don't like him on a personal level, but that's only as a Dolphins fan.
Right.
As an NFL person, I have to admit that yes, he's very good at what he does. He obviously is a very well-storied coach. He may I won't even say it. I'm not going to get everybody mad at me on this show.
Don't say the Shula thing.
I won't say that. I won't.
Don't say the Shula.
I won't say the Shula thing. But all I will say is that I feel like that Bill Belichick's always going to come in with some kind of a game plan. He probably saw the tape of the Miami Dolphins not being able to stop them from running the football, the Chargers. And they're probably going to say, you know what? I have Ramondre Stevenson. I can use him as a pass catcher. I can use him as a running back, just like they used Austin Eckler. And they're probably going to look at them and say, you know what? Let's go ahead and do the same thing. Let's make them stop us that way. And that would make things very easy for Mac Jones, who obviously is not somebody that you want throwing the football 40 times a game. Certainly you want Justin Herbert over Mac Jones in that regard. And even then, the Chargers still focus more on actually running the ball instead of throwing it. So now, I wanted to really quick. Are we going to get back to Dolphins offense?
Go to Dolphins offense, and then we'll pivot.
All right. So, an interesting point. Jonathan Jones for the Patriots is out today, and Jonathan Jones was the guy who the Patriots have been counting on the last year to basically limit Tyreek Hill. So, I was like, along with the discount, like I really feel like the door has been just blasted wide open for Tyreek to explode again today.
Yeah, I think so too. I mean, 53 and a half yards. My God. We do know that Belichick tries to take away the opponent's best player. That is his thing. Force them to beat you in some other way. But I still think Tyreek beats you, and particularly if you don't have your top corners. So they will get the ball to him. I think maybe shorter stuff, let him break something, go from there. I thought last week, the original plan, Tua complete, I think, 7 of his first 10, which got you guys all the prize picks prop. And then, had a couple of problems, but the big thing with Tua has been, when he makes a bad play, he makes a great play in the next one. And I actually wrote about that. That's on our website right now. Want to pivot to the other side real quick before we get to the predictions, and everybody can come out here and visit us here at Biscayne Bay Brewing Company. Jared Jeffrey asked, do you think the Pats try to break out Gesicki? I do. He's not their primary tight end, but he knows the Dolphin. I mean, it's Fangio now. It's a different scheme, but he knows the personnel.
He knows the offense.
He knows the offense. He knows the defense, and I would expect that they try to get him involved a little bit. The Patriots love to use the tight end. Traditionally, I just don't see the explosiveness on the outside for the Pats. Like, you look at a game where, like, you're okay with the fact that you don't have Jalen Ramsey and you're not as deep in the secondary as you expect it to be. This is that game. I just don't see it. I know they were counting on Devontae Parker and others. Yes, post-INT 2 is a monster. I was trying to find Boulder Ghost. I love saying that. What the stats are with him after a mistake. But literally every mistake he made in the past game, he made a great play after it. The fumble, the interception, the second bobble, he made a great play after it.
I believe you asked him about it.
I did, and I gave a good answer, which I put in the column. So check that out at FiveReasonsSports.com. But I just don't see the explosiveness for the Patriots. I mean, to me, this is the kind of game the Dolphins lose if they turn the ball over. And so they have to protect the ball a little bit more. I would run the ball a little more because of that.
I think we all would, though.
I think we all would. I don't think Mike will. And that's kind of where we're at. And I don't think this is going to come down to a kick, so you and I cannot hyperventilate about Jason Sanders with an opportunity late. I'm going to say 24-13 today. I think the Dolphins do win in double digits. I think it's close enough to get Dolphin fans concerned, but I just don't think this New England team has enough. That's just where I'm at. To me, coming into the season, they were the clear number 4 in the division. Now, with the Jets quarterback situation, there are 2 teams in this division. There are 2 teams. As good as the Jets defense is, there are 2 teams in this division, and I'm not sure the Bills are that good, honestly. It seems like they're going to live and die with Josh Allen. I think the Dolphins can win this division, and I think they know what's at stake. They win this game. They get Denver coming in next week. They're 0-2. It's a very beatable team. You can start this season 3-0. There's a whole different confidence level there, particularly if your quarterback's playing at a high level. I think the Dolphins win 24-13.
So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to say this is more of a shootout. Last week, I actually predicted the Dolphins would win 33-27. I'm just going to repeat that same one. I personally feel like that the Patriots are going to be able to run the football. They're going to continue doing that, and they're going to get some points from that. But at the end of the day, I just feel like the Dolphins' offense is too explosive. It's too dangerous. The Patriots will not be able to keep up. I will go ahead and say, as far as Mike Gesicki is concerned, yeah, he'll probably get his prop over on the reception. So kudos to anybody who picked him. But as far as I'm concerned, yeah, the Dolphins have a really excellent opportunity here to start the season off really, really well. Beating Denver should not be that difficult. But I will go. That's my prediction. Dolphins going to win 33-27. But yes, there's not going to be any hyperventilating today, I'm hoping.
Yeah, hoping not. All right, so come down here to Biscayne Bay Brewing Company. We'll be chilling, watching the games. Again, first beer on us. Mention 5 Reasons. Check it out. Again, you get the $6 beers all day, but with us, they're free. So that's cool. And we're also going to put some food out there for you. We got some 5 Reasons hats as well. Use that code 5 at PrizePicks. We both like the Dolphins today. We both like the Dolphins in week 1. We sweated it out a little bit. We'll see if we're right today. Have a good day, everybody.